Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Kyle Hammonds, and I am going to be your professor in this course. You're going to be replying to each other using some videos here, so I thought I would give a little example and do the same thing myself. You probably noticed in the directions that I really wanted everyone to try and kind of speak off the cuff and improvisationally, and so that's what I'm going to try and do as well. There's going to be some ums and uhs, there's going to be some looking up into the corner, trying to remember things, and that's okay. These videos are not so much about elocution and sounding good as they are about having authentic reactions to one another and just trying to kind of speak from the knowledge of what's on our heart and what's on the top of mind. I do have a little sticky note with some kind of comments that I'm going to look down at a couple of times, and as you could hopefully see there, it was just a list of kind of bullet points reminding me of what the prompts are, so it's not answers that are totally written out, and that's more or less what I expect from y'all as well. It's okay to remind yourself of the prompts or maybe some bullet points of things that you'd like to say in your video, but I really want you to, again, kind of speak off the cuff and from the heart as you react to the prompts. So for this first video, there are 4 prompts that I gave to you, and I'm going to give just a quick example of reactions to them, and I'm going to have to be really fast because, of course, I'm also kind of giving some directions here as we go along too. The first prompt is just about who you are and your major and what kind of pop culture you're interested in. So I already told you my name. I'm Kyle, and I studied communication for all 3 of my degrees. And communication is the field where we are looking at how people make meaning from signs and symbols and expression. And I focused on media and pop culture. So the way that we relate to one another and express ourselves through mass media texts and popular texts. That's why I am teaching this class, is because it's a part of what I've studied and what I'm interested in. And I'm also interested in a personal standpoint as well. I am involved in fandoms and I collect things and I consume a lot of mass media, so I think this is a part of who I am in general. My favorite kind of pop culture would be film, but I have a great love for all different kinds of pop culture. I also like music, and I like theater, and I like comics, and there are all different kinds of things that I'm interested in. Visiting coffee shops is another one. That's another kind of pop culture. And if I had to pick an absolute favorite kind of franchise or thing to drill down on, I do love Batman, and I teach a course that's an advanced pop culture and American studies course, and it's on myths, and I cover superheroes as one of the themes of this mythic class. So if you're interested in doing a course on superheroes, then that's something to maybe look forward to later. I'm not going to do like this level of response to each of the other prompts because there just simply isn't time, but your other prompts are like, why do people look down on pop culture and pop culture studies? And your readings for this week should cover part of that. Yardley comes down on this very classical traditional side where he really doesn't see how the mundane and the playful are parts of our everyday experience or parts of things that we should be studying. Whereas on the other hand, Dr. Boss talks about how pop culture is in fact a part of the way that we relate to one another and a huge part of our experience in American culture. It not only reflects American culture, but sort of constitutes it as well. We're going to unpack those claims a little bit more as we go on through the class. And to elaborate on why folks might be interested in studying pop culture, I asked you about the advantages of being a pop culture student. So you can probably draw a lot of answers from the Boss article that I shared with you. Big ones include that we're essentially studying ourselves by studying popular culture and therefore studying American culture and humanity. And we're studying history and sociology and philosophy and anthropology and all of this different stuff, right, that comes together in an interdisciplinary manner to help us create this big picture of who we are. And studying who we are and how we relate to one another in the world is really important. Not only that, but we find through practically looking at the combination of kind of play and fun and seriousness, two things that Yardley does not think can go together, that these two things actually overlap a lot. And so we're also studying things like industry and business and marketing when we study pop culture. For example, how much money do people spend on things like sporting events like football, which is based around a game, or fandom items, like if you are following the Marvel Cinematic Universe, for example, people spend so much money on merchandise and on theater events and on going to conventions. All of this stuff is part of the glue of our American marketing system as well. And finally, I wanted y'all to talk a little bit about the theory of cultural consciousness. Again, I'm not going to get into too many details here, but I think this theory is particularly useful for studying culture and pop culture because it tells us a little bit about how culture works, the relationship between different ways that we think and practices that we have. And it does that without resorting to ranking things and hierarchy like a lot of theories of culture do. We'll also unpack that a little bit more as we get along through the class. This video is a little bit long. You don't have to talk as much as I have, but I wanted to introduce myself in a more kind of personal way here than just writing an email message and give you an example video. So I hope this is useful. I'm excited to have this class with you and to see your videos as well. I will see you as we keep doing the assignments.